Mr. James Tripp. I'm going to read from my novel, available on Amazon.com and other fine online booksellers. Or see me after the show. I'm just going to read from the beginning here. Author's note: portions of this work are based on sayings from the Old and New Testament, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Upanishads. Empire. There's another time. There are wars and revolutions. Ancient dynasties fear their end. Simple creatures walk the land, led by an empire of mock power, or another political ideology, or some dichotomous morality. They give control of their lives away too easily to an outside force by reforging manacles which were self-imposed, giving rise to an unnatural order. It is another place. Chapter 1, the prison. The self listens to the song of the self. The song of the self is the self. In the stillness of its song, the self hears the song of being. The song of the self is the song of all being. It's the thing that is the same in all things that the self hears. It is the song of being that makes the self sing. And while the self sings the song of being, there is no self, only being. In a prison rising from the scorched hills above the still sea, deliberate steps without rhythm creep stealthily towards a cell. Being is not interested in the prison or its cold stone floors or its dark fortress halls, and the fox steals up on its prey. The song of being is the song of all things. It is known to all being. The self marvels and wonders in introspective revelation. Is it a mad delusion brought on by the isolation? Is it brought on by hunger? Is it truth? Below the hills, next to the sea, a shepherd runs his flock of sheep. The shepherd is a lazy man and does not pay attention to his flock, and one wanders away in search of something that the shepherd or the flock cannot give him. The lamb does not look back at the man with the whipping cane. At first, no one knows the sheep is gone. The shepherd does not know. The other sheep do not know. The sea does not know. No one knows. The man who approaches the cage of being is a varmint, a mercenary, a creature unkind and unloved. He wants no more light than the dark provides, a fool who would walk away from a fire on a cold night. He is a man without compassion or reason. He is a soldier, a spy, a murderous scum. He fancies himself to be a man of God. He is a man of ambition. His name is Loci, the lowest name in this story. Eyes closed, and being is one with all things. Being is one with friends. Being is one with the jailers. Being is one with the sheep. Being is one with the earth. Being is one with the sky. Being is one with the mother. Being is one with the murderer. Being is all the songs of the self. It is the being that is the same in all being that being is. Loci has trained for this dark day. Still a boy in his early 20s, not yet a man, a malleable mind, capable of following orders, a soldier and terrorist. He is proud to do his duty for his God and tribe. The taste of another man's blood is on his tongue. He actually tastes it. Never is a noise on a quiet bone as unheard as are the footsteps of the encroacher in the fortress. The self is powerless to flee. The self does not know why the footsteps come. The self does not know that he is not safe in prison. Below the fortress, the shepherd notices the one lamb wandering off. Clutching his whipping cane, he moves to the corral to corral the renegade. He runs after it and dives for the lamb to try to take it in his hands. The lamb escapes and starts to run. Inside the prison, the cell door opens, and though it is dark in the hall, it is lighter than inside the cell. Being comes back to the cell and squints. Who are you? Lokai does not say anything. He moves closer. What do you want? The self does not sense the danger. The self does not see the dagger strapped to the intruder's belt. Get up, says Lokai. It is time to go. Go? Where? You are free, says the spy. Free? The self laughs. Free? Get up. Trust him. Seeing no reason not to comply, the self stands. Come, says Lokai, standing just inside the door. Who are you? The spy is impatient and steps into the cell and grabs the prisoner's arm. He swings around the back of the captive and with one arm held across the prisoner's chest, he holds the prisoner's arm still. In one swift motion, he grabs the knife in his belt and cuts the prisoner's neck from ear to ear. The murder is done before the prisoner knows it has begun. Lokai has never tasted human blood, and he relishes the thought. While his victim is dying, the spy flips the dagger back and forth in his hand and considers wiping it off on his target's cloak. He brings the blade up and licks the blood in an almost sensual way. He likes the taste and wants more. It is the taste he had tasted before he had a taste. Licking the wet knife, he cuts his tongue and tastes his own blood, and he laughs. Lokai leaves the door for the cell open when he goes. It takes only about 2 minutes for the body to lose enough blood to die. A prison guard finds the corpse. All have a path they choose. Lokai has chosen a path of blood to his God. It is for his God he has committed his first murder. The infidel is dead. Lokai's offering of blood will secure him a spot in his afterlife. I am an instrument of God, he thinks. In the world below, the lamb runs and runs. When the other sheep see him, at first they resent him, and then they start to run after him. The lamb is their new leader. He leads them away from the shepherd. John is dead.